Hello everyone and welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you were so inclined. A quick disclaimer from the start, there are building works taking place behind the studio, so if you hear banging and clattering, I do apologise. It appears the United Kingdom, we're building our way out of recession, as am I today. So anyway, I'm building a PC. It's not 10th gen Intel, it's 8th gen, 8700K, 6 cores, 12 threads, still be fine. We're going to whack that in the ASUS M or Prime, whatever. I did a quick review of it. It has wobbly heatsinks. It's not a very good motherboard, but it's M-ATX, which I wanted, and it's Z390, so offers an upgrade path, kinda. We'll be using a Hyper 212 to keep it cool. It's going to have 32 gig of RAM. There are two boxes. When I do the costing for this, I'll only show 16, because you really don't need 32. I'm just putting them in because I have them, and I'd rather have memory in a computer than not. Why the hell not? WD Green is the boot drive. I do have a mechanical drive around, and I don't know where I put it. I'm remarkably ill-prepared, but we're just going to whack 2 terabytes of WD Blue mechanical storage on it for any bits of movies, things like that we might be watching from it. It'll be powered by the Corsair RM750, definitely overkill, but you know, I have one, so why not? I could have used this, to be fair. The 450 would be fine, because this is a GTX 1070. It's the MSI Armor. I'm confident that these two combined are not going to equal more than 450, but that's 80 plus bronze, this is 80 plus gold, and again, I'd rather use it than not. This mysterious brown box, by the way, has a Wi-Fi adapter in, which costs £25. Because this motherboard doesn't have Wi-Fi, which made me think at the time I should have just spent an extra 15 and bought the ASUS TUF M-ATX. I made a boo-boo. Anyway, that's that. We'll be using Be Quiet fans because I want this to be quite quiet. I'll probably replace the fan on the cooler as well, which is a Hyper 212. I've never actually used an air cooler, so that should be fun. But anyway, there we are. There's the parts. I haven't put a case on here because I'm building outside of the case, by the way. The last time I did this, it went wrong, and I learned my lesson. So I will build outside of the case and then just whack it in. The case, by the way, is a Cooler Master Q500L. It's not very good. I've seen reviews. It's a hotbox. I've had the case for an eternity, but not used it, so I might as well. But yeah, well, let's build. Now, those of you that have seen the last video will know, with this motherboard, the heatsink, check this out. Actual genuine wobble on both. This one not as bad as this, but it's such a cheap board, but I don't care. Let's just smashing and get this thing built. I want to see if it works. Now, the previous two motherboards that I used both have damage in a very, very familiar place. I'm sure it's popping up on the screen now while I struggle with this processor box. But that's alarming. Definitely not a manufacturing issue. They're both different brands, and more importantly than that, it's both in the same place. That's just sheer human error. Are we in the right way here? I think that we are. Yep. And we're in. Step 1 done. Right, what size is this one? Yep. Like I said, a lot quicker than a mechanical drive. So those of you that don't have M.2 yet, you must get yourself on this. It's not the most attractive hard drive, however, just sat in the middle of the board. But this is not an attractive board. And those of you that have been paying attention will notice there is no RGB. I may put an RGB fan on it, just so I can show off my, oh no, wait, it's an ugly build. I'll keep it dark. Why not? Right, I'll just put 16 in for now. Now I've got to figure out this cooler. Oh, and thermal paste. Oh my word. Backplate. The thermal paste on and have you all judge me. There we go. That way. That should do. Okay, so we're all wired up with the power, almost all wired up. Once I get this fan in, we'll power it up and see if we can get it to post. Let's have a look. Sorry, I'm having to hotwire. The motherboard doesn't have an on-off switch. Power switch, where are you located? Ah, there you are. Come on, you can do it. There we go, there we go. Now let's see if we get a post. I've got the keyboard wired up. Hopefully the lights of this will come on. We've got lights, everyone. Are we it? Yeah. Yep. Hopefully we'll just boot into Windows. I'll be happy if we do. It'll be nice and easy. It's looking good. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Or maybe you can't. I'm not sure. For Dante, by the way, who left a comment regarding the EVGA power supply, I can tell you the RM750, the fan definitely does power back down to 0 RPM. It's just done it for me now. I do intend to test the power supply for you this week. I will have it done by the end of the week. I'll run it a few different ways as well. I'll give extra cooling and then no cooling just to see if I can get that. I'll run a couple of benchmarks and then just power down, well, turn off the benchmarks and see. Oh, it's looking good. It's looking good. We're getting device ready. I'm confident this will work, so I'll just probably skip along to when we're in Windows. It's already installed on the hard drive itself anyway, so I don't need to do any setup. Oh, we're in. I'll call that a win, everyone. Yay! Well, here we are, everyone. As you can see, it's all now in the case and with no RGB, which makes it look, well, remarkably underwhelming. But hey, it's going in the TV cabinet. I don't care. Now, I can tell you it is quite warm at the back of here. This case, by the way, is just flooded with nuance. For a start, I think it's supposed to be laid on its side, which is how it's going to be. And this, the I/O, is modular. You can completely take it off, which in terms of building makes this an awful lot better because you can just get all of the wires out. Now, I thought with it being modular, I really could put it anywhere, and that's not the case. I chose here at the top. That was a bad plan. I had hoped that I could cable manage the cables, route them back behind the motherboard plate, I suppose it is, and then back up through the back and into the case connectors and the HD audio. That's not the case. The cables aren't long enough for that, so well done, Cooler Master. Not really. The power supply, you can have this anywhere. There is a cable on the inside to hook up to the power supply, so do make sure you click the button on, because you really ought to. I did remember, which was nice. However, when they say you can put it anywhere, you can't. Now, the graphics card I have in here is only a 1070, and it's an MSI Armor. It's only a dual fan cooling solution. If you had a 3-fan cooling solution on a graphics card, like the 2080 Super video I did a while back, I'm sure it's coming up, that's 3 90mm fans. That simply wouldn't go in here. You can't move the power supply into enough places. You could perhaps put it at the bottom of the case here, underneath the GPU, which doesn't leave a great deal of space for cooling for the graphics card itself. You can't move it further down, because it would absolutely block this in. So if you are building a new computer and you're considering this case, please, I implore, if you have a 3-fan cooling solution on your graphics card, choose something else. Has this benchmark come to an end? No, it's still running. Fantastic stuff. I'm confident. I'm only running this at 1080, by the way, because that's what the monitor is, and this isn't a 4K gaming rig in any capacity. But I have been into the BIOS. Now, I have turned on XMP, and I am using all 32 gig of RAM, because why not? Some are black sticks, some are white, but they're the same, so they do work nicely together. So they are running at 3000 megahertz. And I have done an all-core multiplier on the 8700K, so it is now running at 4.7 gigahertz on all cores. So it would get a bit warm. Now, I was running XTU earlier just to see what sort of temperatures I get underneath a stress test, and I did pull around the mid-80s, which is very high. So I am considering removing the overclock itself, well, the all-core multiplier, and trying to downvolt it a bit, try and undervolt the machine and try and get the temperatures more under control. Now, I'm confident that when I ran this benchmark for Tomb Raider earlier, I'd left XTU running in the background and it did only peak at around 67. So for gaming, perhaps not that bad in terms of temperatures, but again, if you are building a computer, this is very, very easy to build in. It genuinely is. Just make sure you have enough clearance for a graphics card. I wouldn't recommend going anywhere in the 20 series. All of the graphics cards seem quite big if it's from Nvidia. Even the 5700 XT is quite a bulky bit of kit, so that perhaps as well may not fit in here. So you may need to get a smaller form factor power supply for it. Oh, we have come in. What did we get? What did we get? 80 FPS at 1080 on the ultra high, or highest, as it says here. That's quite good. That's quite good. Now, I'm quite pleased with this machine overall. It's running rather well. I haven't tried to encode anything on Premiere Pro or Photoshop, but I'm confident it will be fine on either. And I believe the new NVENC hardware encoding for Premiere Pro will run on the 10 series GPU. I haven't tested it yet, but that will be done at some point. But I'm very happy with the build. If you did like this video, everyone, please do hit the like button. It does genuinely help. And subscribe if you want to see more like this. Hopefully I'll be getting a few more builds done. But there's so much good stuff coming out in the next couple of months. Not least the 3000 series, or at least that's what we think it will be called, from Nvidia. There should be some nice graphics card in there. But anyway, have a nice evening, everyone. Goodbye.